My name is Ignat, and I'm happy to be here with you today on the Payoneer Beyond Summit, and I'm happy to talk about esports. So the topic which we will be discussing today is why esports industry is so interesting for brands. So I'll try to guide you through a bit about the industry, and then to show some interesting cases from how it works. So my name is Ignat, as I said already. Why actually I can speak about esports? I was a professional esports player like 20 years ago. It seems like impossible to be happening, but the industry is actually much older than someone may think. Although it was not esports, we called it differently, electronic sports, etc. But I was playing games and I was winning substantial prizes. Then I went to do my master's degree. I worked in big companies, including Kraft Foods. And in 2015, I joined the project, which was developing the first esports and gaming TV channel outside of South Korea, which is still up and running and delivers great content to people. We have also organized big events. We were the first ones to do big events, big sports events in Moscow, and in many other countries like Lithuania, Belarus, and others. And I also was involved in one of the first deals bringing the esports broadcast onto TV. So executive summary before we jump into the content. So esports is a growing industry which has increased its role during the COVID. Among younger generations, esports is becoming more and more popular, and for some ages, it's more popular than traditional sports. Esports and gaming are not only opening the audience and the access to the audience, but it also creates new business opportunities. The presentation has pretty lot of slides with some showcases and details. You can find it by this link, and you can always check and see some more details. And then in the end, you will also have the QR code, which will allow you to get some more information after the presentation. So, I mean, you cannot avoid thinking about esports, and this is because you have 2 billion people who are gamers, and roughly 500 million of people are esports fans. This is reality, and there is even more interesting reality that in the United States, for example, about people play and watch esports and gaming related content 1.3 times more than they watch TV. And also around 40% people are making new friends through online gaming. Can you imagine, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the people were making friends through gaming, and now it's reality. And even more important, 50% of people, of teens, are keeping with their friends and socialize through games. And some statistics behind this as well. Gaming is already bigger than television, films, music. And with COVID, I mean, the growth will be a bit slower, but the difference between the markets of gaming and other industries will just continue to grow. And you see the esports enthusiasts from 300 million people, it grows up, and the growth will continue. Why is it happening? Why it's interesting? For the audience. Well, millennials and generations that are not thinking like 10 years ago, 10 to 20 years ago, where people were thinking. They are active and open to innovations. They play games, and as we said, we've already seen, they watch games and game-related content, and they don't watch TV instead. They follow less traditional sports, and they live in a truly global community. So what is esports? When people think about esports, sometimes you might imagine someone who just sitting on the PC playing nonstop, ordering pizza, and that's it. But actually, it's just a myth, and actually, esports is really it becomes more and more traditional sport. So if you go to definition of sports, and if you check the esports, actually see that it has all the necessary parts and elements. And in general, esports is the pinnacle of competitive gaming, and it's become already an established industry. So you have professional gamers who are there, and who have teams, and some of the teams have already raised like $20 million plus valuation. Just recently, there was a team backed by David Beckham who made an IPO in London's exchange market, and so on. Then you have a passion and competition. It's real, and the betting, for example, on esports is also growing, just confirming that there is a big passion there. It's a great show. It's a breathtaking show. I will show you later on a short video just to give you a small hints what is actually esports and how does it look like. At million fans, we saw already some statistics. It already have professional coverage. I mean, we have developed the esports TV channel, and more investments are going into creating the content, creating super studios, which most of the TV channels, traditional TV channels, can be jealous of. And a strong young activation. Imagine, for example, top gamers for League of Legends in China. They have roughly 300 million followers and fans. Can you imagine? 300 million people are fans of a person playing a computer game. It was impossible to imagine this a couple of years ago. Now it's a reality. That was an example of the events of the largest event so far with the largest prize pool is the international. It's held every year, and it's for Dota 2 game. This year, just a couple of days ago, the prize pool has reached $40 million. The prize pool is generated partially from the game developer. They give a small portion of the sums, and then people are buying the battle pass, which gives some in-game items and which provides some value for the gamers. And the quarter of the sum goes to the prize pool. So people just paid already more than $160 million just to have a pass to the thing that you can watch for free, because no one asks you to pay for it. And now I'll show you the short video. It's 1 minute video. And this is video exactly about the event. It's a video about the last year's finals of the international. You can just see how big the industry is and how great things happening out there, and how the audience is reacting. It's like real traditional sports style of event. So let's see this video. It's an announcement of the of the event, of the movie actually. So you can watch later on the movie. The movie is called True Sight. So it's a documentary of the final of the event, and it's roughly. Sorry, some internet issues for the video. So the movie called True Sight, and I strongly encourage you to watch the whole movie. It will be like 50 minutes show, which you definitely will enjoy, and I really believe that is one of the best things to see in order to understand what is esports. So one more quotation, just to give you hints about the industry size. The Netflix last year and in the last year's report for shareholders. So they made an announcement that actually we compete and lose to Fortnite, more to the HBO. Fortnite is a very popular game, and probably if you have kids, you might see them spending a lot of time and probably money in the game. And Fortnite is also considered being in esports title. So these facts show how important the industry is, and everyone's understand from the different perspective from the different industries what does it mean to have an esports integrated in their system. And now we come to COVID, and definitely COVID has changed a lot of industries. And actually for esports, COVID in a sense was a big breakthrough, because lots of traditional sports, lots of traditional industries were thinking about esports, and normally they had some activations and some campaigns related to some esports trials. But during COVID, when everything was closed, when no event could have happened, esports became the only content actually creation for the series. And one of the most important examples was definitely Formula One. They had a real racing drivers having a real racing championship on the sim racing, and others. Almost every big football league has tried to do something similar, and they all gradually were having the esports series. So we really believe that COVID actually accelerated a lot esports, and the esports will continue to gain in more and more role also due to COVID, or by using this for esports it was more an opportunity. Definitely for traditional sports it was more a disaster. Some things also to add about crossover of esports with traditional sports. There were rumors that esports can become already official sports in the Olympics, but in 2024 no decision were taken to accept the esports so far. But there are so many talks, because not esports actually requires traditional sports, it's vice versa, and the Olympic Committee understands that they need, in a sense, to find a way to integrate esports into their agenda, exactly to bring the audience, exactly to bring youngsters who are not that much into watching archery or curling or something, but they need to, but still they're becoming an important part of the audience, and they need Olympics need them. There are several organizations which are structuring the development of the esports industry. So you have International Sports Federation, you have World Sports Consortium, and you have Global Esports Federation. These are the main actors to the date. Although I need to mention, for example, that Saudi Arabian Esports Federation, they're doing a lot of interesting movements, and many other countries also finding their way. But right now, just to finish the part with Olympics and traditional sports, International Olympic Committee is talking to esports. International Olympic Committee had already pilot events, for example, in Rio and also in Korea, where they had the separate sections, not integrated, not medal program, but they already tried to have it. And take an example of Formula One and others, we believe that it will just continue to grow and continue to develop. So now we speak about business and why brands are investing into esports, why they interested in esports, and why actually you might also think about esports for your businesses. And the answer is very simple, is that the young audience, like millennials, Generation Z and younger, they're becoming more and more the major purchasing power. They're progressing in their careers. They have more money available, and every brand actually wants to touch this audience. Every brand wants to have this audience working with them and purchasing the products and services. And at the same time, this audience is hard to reach, is digitally first, highly engaged, and social. That means that old way of engaging, that means the old way to entertain is not really working. Engaging this audience requires following simple rules. You need to speak their language, provide fun and value for them, which is important for them. Be modern, digital, and frank. And what is also important is not to try sell aggressively, which was working like some 10 years ago. And esports has these unique attributes which provide the brands with an access to these younger generations. It also allows to touch this truly diversified audience, the audience of esports. It provides an insights to this industry enthusiasts, which have huge passion. The people who could spend a lot of time communicating online, and it's global again. The European team has a lot of fans, for example, in Asia and vice versa. So the audience is more global than you could have imagined it for most of the sports. And also, esports provides a great opportunity, great platform to leverage technology and engagement, because the people who are young and integrated into the esports, they are very open to innovations, they're ready to try, and they're happy to try. So what business can get from esports? Definitely the easiest thing you can think of is rise brand awareness and get new sales. Lots of brands are going there, and as an example, I would like to encourage you to find the video which is called Nike Bootcamp for China. So it was the first esports targeted advertisement for Chinese market based on esports. So imagine previously the advertisement for Nike sneakers and other goods were like integrating pro athletes from sports. Now you have an esports themed advertisement in the whole campaign. Then there's another thing which is building a strong connection for future purposes, which is a case for Mercedes. For example, Mercedes is sponsoring the competitions. They have new Mercedes as a present for the winner or for the MVP, most valuable player. They understand that the purchase will not happen now. Probably the purchase will not even happen tomorrow or 3 years from now, but they understand that purchase will come in 5 years and further. Then you also can show to your current client base innovative approach. In this example of SAP, SAP has developed truly innovative solutions for esports teams to analyze the game and to predict the game. And at the same time, and then they have this cooperation with top esports teams, and they see how good is both for them, for the clients, and also for the esports industry. What can esports create with for businesses? This is a bit different angle, which extends the what we just talked about. So the esports provides the opportunity to create new products. For example, like ESL tournament organizer has created a specific series of glasses for people who are working on PC. Then you can develop also the direct to consumer sales channels, like for example Team Liquid, one of the most famous and successful teams. They have their own business distribution of merchandise co-branded with Marvel through their shops, through the activities of the team. And also you can get completely new products and business models. As an example, I would like to provide the example of French esports giant Webedia joining the company and the mall to create a reality show. So you just go implementing into traditional industries some esports opportunities. Further on, I would like to have a briefly overview of several selected cases which we've done and also which has been done by the industry leaders. So for one of the first example I would like to show, it was an example of Bud Light Dota 2 activation. So our company has done this project together with IBNDEF company, which owns the brand Bud Light. The activation was targeting the United Kingdom and Russian Federation players. We have started this in probably the most difficult moment, at least of the year. So in April, when the whole world was in lockdown position, the businesses were didn't know what to do. So we started this activation, and the logic of this activation was to bring to gaming audience the additional opportunity to have fun and to continue their traditional social life during the COVID-19 outbreak. So it was the situation was difficult. People in more and more countries were unable to move around, and Russia, which was the core market, together with UK. So we provided this opportunity for them to get socialization and to get also opportunities to have more fun while still being at home. As a result of the campaign, so I had more than 2 million people reached through the different channels we've been using, and we had more than 5,000 participants in the activity. So I imagine that roughly 5,000 people from different countries in Russia, or different cities in Russia, had an opportunity to socialize, and we've seen great engagement. We've seen that people were working a lot in terms of developing the sort of the community in their small cities, just to continue live and to continue the social activity even while it was stopped due to COVID. Then we had another activation. It was charity events, which we call Play for Good. So we had it with different organizations, mainly in Monaco, because we're working closely with Monaco Sports Federation. What was the logic there? It was also to create a series of events where people were donating to the hospitals, and the mechanics was pretty similar. People were playing games and getting fun and socialization through this. So this and one more example which we've done also was exactly sim racing. So I had a Formula One driver, we had drivers participating in NASCAR, in other Formula series, is real professional top drivers who just joined also the charity event. And the logic of charity event was exactly to provide people some fun activations and fun activities during the COVID period, which was very difficult. Again, we had more than 1 million people were reached by the activation, and we had more than 50,000 in a live broadcast, which has been done on 3 languages. Then I will show you a couple of more examples of big campaigns, bigger campaigns of big brands, and you will be able to see later on in the presentation if you follow the link provided. You can find examples of other brands doing this. And KFC is one of the most interesting brands which is working in esports for quite a while already. They have a special campaign to promote their vegan burger when the imaginary gamer explains how good his gaming became after he started to eat the vegan burger, and a lot of other activations. Hopefully the video will run smoothly now, and you will be able to see the general approach of KFC regarding gaming. So I wanted to share with you KFC example because you can see a lot of activation integration inside the game. It's very unique, and they really used it greatly to they brand the in-game items, they create the characters in the games, and they create real engagement. One more example is Louis Vuitton, which is it's a brand of very expensive products. And they become a sponsors of the League of Legends finals, and they've done special activation. They've done special in-game item, which they presented in the way they present the other goods which they're producing. So it is a brilliant example how to integrate your traditional approach towards advertisement into the gaming world using the gaming in-game items. So we're about to wrap up the session. I would like to give you some hints what I advise you to do if you're interested in growing your business among millennials and Generation Z and younger generations. I strongly advise you to start checking occasional streams on Twitch. It might be a completely new world for you, and you will see amount of people who are watching the videos. Some videos will be like you will not even understand them if you're not playing yourself in these games, but you need to just see the numbers of viewers and just start trying to understand the audience, how they think and what they do. I already told you about watching the international finals through site movie. Also advise you to see the finals of League of Legends in Paris-Bercy last year. It's also something very interesting. Counter-Strike major in Berlin had a great opening, and in general the whole production, which is comparable to best traditional sports events. And also talk to the children and ask them what do they think about esports and football. What do they like? And ask them, do they know, I don't know, Aston Villa or Chelsea or something, or do they rather know Cloud9, Virtus Pro, or Team Liquid. Some more things which I also would quickly cover. There are a lot of myths about esports, and people are thinking that you might say that gamers are only playing computer games and not interested in anything else. Well, esports and gaming is just a substitution for TV and bars and traditional sports. Then esports promote violence. This is proven actually to be wrong, because actually people who are playing more games, they have decreased violence because they already kind of, they simulated the violence, and now they can easily live the standard life. Esports is harmful for education. Some people might say it, but there were already a couple of studies which has proven, again, vice versa situations, gamification and smartly integrated esports activities help to increase the results, help to improve the results. Then esports is not a sports. Well, I mean, in terms of potential capex, having a Formula One team is much more expensive, but esports is already, you have seen the attributes, and you have seen how big it is. And also the things for consideration, I would strongly advise you not to start immediately doing esports activation, even if you believe that this is something you really need. You need to think more, you need to think deeply in what and how you want to do, because the only unique esports projects can bring real value to you and to the audience. Then sometimes it's much better to support your local community, your local team, or a local competition organizer, rather than doing a big campaign national-wide or international-wide. Think about the message, think about how you want to convey it. It's very, very important to have a right structured communication. It's not enough to place the brand. It's not enough to place the logo. You need to really think. And if you go further and go beyond in terms of the ideas, how to work with this audience, you will get much better results. As I said, also just sponsorship will not work. There should be story behind this. And also it's important to promote good values, because gamers are very social, as we were speaking in the very beginning. They're very active and engaged in the global community. So as an example, I will give you an example. Riot Games, the game developer from United States, and Danish tournament organizer had to pull out of the deal from Neom City in Saudi Arabia, because the community reacted very negatively on the fact that these companies were cooperating with Saudi Arabia. Because so the community started to give their voice, and both companies had to pull out of the deal. And this shows how the audience is how active, how they actually influence, and how strong they are. And don't forget that the esports is also sports, and passion, emotion, and drive should play an important role in any type of communication you will be doing with it there. This is it from my side. You can you can get from the QR code additional information about the esports from us. And also if you have any questions, suggestions, or ideas to share, you can write me at ignat@aurora.pm, and I will be very happy to share with you more information, more knowledge, which I have from the industry. Thank you very much. I think the time is almost gone. So if you will download the presentation, and if you will get this presentation from the organizers, there is an appendix in the deck. In the appendix, you can find a lot more examples and some other additional information about the industry, how it works. You might get some additional numbers, etc. Thank you, everyone, and I wish you a great day.